Hi, this is Katie. Today's video is going to be a little nighttime vlog, not a nighttime routine, not even necessarily like a mental health update, not a full day vlog, just I'm getting ready for bed and I wanted to chat with you guys, and I'm not feeling mentally fantastic, so I figured that I would talk to you guys, be a little chatty while I get ready for bed. It's 7:46. And I'm exhausted, so I'm getting ready for bed. And obviously sleeping in the car. If you guys didn't know that, hi, I'm Katie, I live in a car and I'm traveling. So yeah, if you just want to hang out with me for a little bit tonight, I hope that you're subscribed and I hope that you keep watching. Okay, so I already have some of the stuff up. I have that t-shirt up and I have the windowy thing behind you. I'm just gonna finish setting up the car, chat with you guys for a little bit. Yeah, so I mentioned in one of my last videos that I'm gonna be like more authentically me. I feel like the last few years I've been lukewarm and I've been just watered down, and that's not who I wanna be, that's not who God wants me to be. So I'm gonna be a little bit more authentic, you know? It's not like I was ever fake before, it's just I was kind of watered down, you know? So anyway, this video might be a little less edited and a little more like, just me, just authentically me. So anyway, one question that I got in one of my recent videos was if I ever accidentally knock down my t-shirts or my towels while I'm sleeping, because I sleep in my car, right? And when I cover my windows for privacy and stuff, I use t-shirts and some towels. And someone asked if I ever accidentally knock them down, like while I'm sleeping or just hanging out in the car or whatever. And the answer is no. But sometimes I do knock this part. Oh, you can't see that part. So I generally have like 2 pins at the top of the t-shirts at the corners and then one at the bottom to kind of like just secure the bottom so it's not like flapping around. And sometimes I'll hit that one and it will loosen, like it'll just come off of the door like this kind of, but then it just hangs. So it's not really like a huge deal. It's not like uncovering my window or anything. It's just kind of hanging. It's more of an annoyance if anything. So I just push it back in. That happens like once a night that I'm just kind of moving around and I hit it, or once every other night or something like that. But it's not a huge deal. Actually like knocking down the stuff doesn't happen. So now the last 2 things, I just put up the back ones. Again, this is not like a proper nighttime routine. I did that a few weeks ago, so I'll have that linked somewhere here if you're interested. But I just want to chat with you guys. I've been having a weird week. A lot of you guys know that I suffer with some mental health issues, and I was doing okay. For a couple weeks, and I felt like I was, I don't know, just a little bit more me, I guess. And then that went real downhill like a week ago. Also the lighting is amazing. But yeah, it just like went downhill again like a week ago. And it just sucks. Like if you guys suffer with like really serious mental health issues, you know that no matter what you do, sometimes they still will go up and down. Sometimes you'll feel okay today and then really depressed tomorrow, or really anxious today and then totally fine tomorrow. You know, sometimes medicine or therapy or lifestyle changes or diet or circumstances or the work that you're putting into your brain or your mindset can help. But sometimes, again, if you guys have severe mental health issues, you might understand or you might agree that sometimes no matter what you do, they just still go like this, kind of like without your own permission, you know? And so that's kind of where like long-term work matters, so that hopefully like that could lessen just in general. I'm wearing like tan pants. You guys know me that 94% of my wardrobe is black, but I have these like tan beigey pants. You're welcome. Anyway, all right, hold on. Okay. That goes there. But yeah, it's not even that I've been more depressed or more anxious necessarily. It's more that I've just been like thinking a lot more. And I like thinking. I know some people think that like overthinking is bad and blah, blah, blah. And I'm one of those people like, yeah, overthinking about like, if you want black beans or pinto beans at Chipotle and it causes you anxiety for 4 hours, maybe that's not something that's super healthy. And maybe that's something that it might be a little bit healthier for you to figure out how to make that decision a little bit quicker. Sure. But like, I think that a lot of people call something overthinking just because someone is thinking. Because most people don't really think more than surface level stuff, in my opinion, about certain things, at least. Obviously, that's not like an overall thing. But sometimes, like if I talk to some people about the things that I think about all the time, I know some people would just tell me that I'm overthinking when I know that I'm not. I know that it's just things are important to me, and I really like to understand things, and I like to know the why of the why of the why, which I've discussed before. Like, not just why I felt this way today, but the why of that. Like, keep going until you find like the real root answer to things. And I think a lot of people don't like to think that way because it's difficult. It's a little out of your comfort zone, uneasy, stuff like that. P.S. When I'm getting ready, I'm usually done in about 3 minutes. I'm just chatting, so I'm not doing this as fast. But yeah, so it's more just like, I think a lot. I know that I think a lot. I'm okay with that. I think that's good. It means that I'm learning things, that I'm understanding things differently. The only but I have is that it's one of those like ignorance is bliss kind of things. And so sometimes the more you learn, just the harder it is to deal with certain things. Hold on, let me put this up. And I've also been learning recently, well, this is not a super recent thing because I think I started to really know that this was happening like earlier this year, but hold on, come here. I think I discussed in a mental health video earlier this year about like the people in your life and how important that is. You know, there's that idea that you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you surround yourself with lazy people who make excuses all the time, you're just more likely to adapt that lifestyle and that mindset, right? But if you surround yourself with people who are ambitious and who help others and who are really kind, you're more likely to adapt those traits. If you surround yourself with people who have, you know, very typical lifestyles, you might be more likely to adapt that. And if you surround yourself with people who have more unique lifestyles, you might be more likely to adapt that. Because it's kind of like it seems to be what's either normal and comfortable or what's possible. And so even if you kind of have like an entrepreneurial mind, but you surround yourself with everyone who's not an entrepreneur, which I'm not saying either is good or bad, but they're just different, right? If you have that entrepreneurial mind, but you hang out with people who have jobs they don't really like, but they're 9-to-5s and they're steady, you might be a little bit less likely to really use that entrepreneurial mindset and really like work on that and really focus on it, because your friends might be like, what are you doing? Just go get a job at the place I have a job, you know, like. But if you hang out with people who are more entrepreneurial and you kind of have that, they might be more likely to be like, yeah, let's go do it, I'll help you, you know. So I realized earlier this year, it's one of the things I prayed about a lot earlier this year, was like, God, help me see who's supposed to be in my life and who's not. And I think I talked about this in one of my mental health updates, like in the like spring or something, like a while ago. But that it's one of those things, prayer does not get you whatever you want. Prayer makes you aware of what God is doing. Prayer makes you aware of what's going on, of maybe the fact that what you want is not actually what's best. I think it's a little ridiculous and naive and so self-centered to think that we just pray for what we want and then that's what we should get. Like, do we not think that God knows better than that? Like, God knows way better than that. Like, he's going to do what's best for us. But if we aren't praying about it, if we're not aware of it, we're not going to see it when it happens. So I was praying a lot, or that's my opinion, at least, about that kind of stuff. Whenever I talk about this stuff, this is just all my opinions. But just one of the things that I prayed about a lot earlier this year, and also so I was focusing on to see what God was going to do in my life, to see what God was going to change, if he was going to change my circumstances, my mindset, both, if he was going to make me aware of something, bring something to light, make something more obvious to me, give me something that I wanted, but in reality, show me what I really needed. I think that that's that's what happens when you become aware of that kind of stuff. And I just noticed that some people were just, I can't snap very well, but just like getting out of my life, kind of. Whether we got in a fight or we just kind of drifted or whatever. Has this been crooked the whole time? It might be. I don't know. Welcome to the Katie Carney videos. Lighting's horrible, but it's also nighttime. It's like 8 o'clock. And I'm already getting ready for bed because I'm exhausted. But hold on, let me finish this, hold on. And hold on, I have to get more space on my camera, hold on. Thinking that much, which again, I think is very important, almost detrimental to living like the most fulfilling life that you can and that God wants you to have. It is going to cause more pain because you're getting out of your comfort zone, because you're trying to figure out, you're problem solving essentially. So it's going to be more difficult. But I think generally most things that are worth it are going to be difficult. Not all the time. Eating In-N-Out burger is very much worth it, and it's not difficult if you live in the town that it's in. If you don't live in it and you want to go get it, it's more difficult, but it's worth it. But I just think that thinking that much, asking those questions, figuring out things further than just the initial why is really important. But yeah, so to go quickly back to the friends thing, like the people thing. I know a lot of people, but I feel like I don't have a ton of really close friends. But I think that even if they're just acquaintances or people that you surround yourself with, or just any person that you can choose to be in your life or not, I think it's really important to figure out if they're actually good for you and if you're actually good for them. It's kind of like what I talked about a couple years ago, and I'm sure I've talked about it since then, in terms of when you make a decision, and this is especially if it only pertains to you. So if you have a family and it involves everyone, that's a little bit different. But if you have a decision that only pertains to you, I think it's really important every once in a while to think about it and make sure that it's still something that you want to be doing. For example, that's literally why I moved to Charleston and got an apartment 2 years ago, because and that is so crazy to me that it was 2 years ago at this point. I like cannot believe that that was 2 years ago. But I did that because I was on the road, living in my car, on and off at that point for about 7 years, but basically full time for like the last 3 years before that. And I was like, okay, well, I know that I started to do that because I enjoyed it and it was something that I thought was a good decision, but does that mean that it still is a good decision? Does that mean that I still enjoy it? Does that mean it's still positive and that it's still productive and that it's still something that I'm supposed to be doing and it's something that's helpful for me or helpful for other people? And again, I think a lot of people just kind of make a decision, whether it's a job, a place they live, a hobby, whatever, and they don't fully consider 6 months later, a year later, 5 years later, if they still enjoy it. Again, this is a little bit different if you have a family or whatever, but if you're just like single and you're just doing stuff, or if it's just something that pertains to you, I think it's really important to always consider it, always think about it. Okay, is this still something that I am enjoying? Is it still something that's beneficial, that's good, productive? Again, you won't know that unless you actually think about it. And I just think it's really important to kind of consider every aspect of our life. But again, I don't think most people do it because it's so easy to stay in your comfort zone. And I'm sorry for how bad the lighting is in this video. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I just think that people, it's comfortable to stay in your comfort zone. I get it. I get it. I'm just not one of those people. I don't think staying in your comfort zone is good. Again, it depends on what it is, but just staying in your comfort zone to stay in your comfort zone, I don't think is really healthy for most people. You know, you might make a decision that ends up you staying in your comfort zone, and that's totally fine. But just staying in your comfort zone to stay in your comfort zone because you don't want to change, or you don't want to grow, you don't want to learn, you don't want to do anything new, you're more capable than that. I don't know who you are. I don't know who I'm talking to right this second. I know some of you watching, hi. And the rest of you that I don't know, also hi. You're more capable than that. You're more capable than staying in your comfort zone forever just because it's a little scary to change. So just part of that is thinking, okay, well, who are these people I'm surrounding myself with? You know, what job do I have? What do I do when I get home? What kind of books am I reading? What kind of TV am I watching? What music am I listening to? Where am I living? All these things. What hobbies do I have? All these things. I just think it's good to think about them and think about what's actually good, what's actually productive, what's actually healthy. That's a good one, because a lot of the things in our comfort zones doesn't mean that it's healthy. But again, you might consider everything. You might consider your job, your friends, your relationship, where you're living, all of it. And you might be like, yep, no, I am good with all of it. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Then stick with it. I still think it's maybe good to add a hobby here and there and learn something new and stuff. I don't think it's just kind of good to stay the same all the time. But having some of those things stay the same, if you know that they're good for you and that they're healthy, that's awesome. Maybe just add, you know, learn a new language or go learn how to play tennis or something. But I want to challenge you guys, if you're up for it, to kind of think of some of the things that are taking up space in your brain, that you think about a lot, or that take up time in your life. So again, maybe it's, and I'm not talking about marriage. That's a different thing. And I'm not married, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But I'm talking more about friends, the town you live in, the place you live in, your job, your hobbies, the people that you surround yourself with, the places that you go, the media that you intake. Just do a little check on them. I'd like to challenge you guys to do that. Just do a little check. Maybe think of your friends, for example, and think, okay, are my friends healthy for me? Do they support me? Do they challenge me in a good way? Do they push me? Are they fun? Do we have similar values? Or even if we don't, can we still get along when we talk about them? Or do they pull me down? Do they make me anxious? Do they make me question things that I know to be true, but in a negative way because they're mean? Do they make fun of me, you know? And there might be some people in your life that you've known for a long time that if you do this kind of like intake kind of thing, that you might realize, ooh, they might not be best in my life, and or I might not be best in theirs. Maybe you're the one who's negative to the other people. We also have to admit that kind of stuff too, which is very hard. But I think I've just been doing that more lately, of kind of like, okay, who are the people in my life that are actually good? And even if someone's not the best in your life, doesn't necessarily mean that they can't be in your life at all, but maybe you might have to change the dynamic a little bit and stuff. But yeah, I just think it's important to think about all this kind of stuff. And then even think of the why. So even if it is like, oh no, one of my friends, we do kind of make fun of each other, or you know, we don't really agree on this, and that's really important to me, or they do kind of make fun of me when I say I'm gonna grow a new business or anything like that. Talk to them first. You know, it's not like, oh, just cut them out of your life forever. Talk to them, see if there's some compromise, see if you can work on stuff. I always want to just kind of work on something as much as I'm willing to, which for someone like me, like I'm willing to work on something a lot before I would give up on it. If it's something that is meaningful to me, I mean. So that's something that I'm continuously learning, like, okay, when is it actually time to fully quit, to fully stop? I know I said there's not gonna be a mental health update, and then I'm pretty sure it ended up being one. But anyway, I think that's all I'm gonna even say about any of that anyway. I think that it's just a good idea to always like kind of just think about those things. And some people are gonna say that you're overthinking. And I think that those people just don't ever think at all about anything. I think that this kind of stuff is important to think about because it's our lives. It's other people's lives. I think it's important. But anyway, I wanna go to bed. I'm really tired. Like really, really tired. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me during this little like, I don't know what this video was, just a little chatty video. I don't even know if I'm gonna post it because this lighting is some of the worst I've ever had. But just wanna be more myself. And I just hope that that maybe some of this stuff can just help you think a little bit more. That's why I talk about this stuff, you know. I talk about it in hopes that I can help you, and obviously that we can get a little bit closer and you can learn more about me as well. But yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments if you do like these kinds of videos, because I do plan on doing them, you know, once-ish a month, maybe even twice a month, just talking about my mental health and mental health in general, but then also just about psychology and life, you know, and just more serious topics like that, because it's what I think about all the time. And so I'm just curious if you guys enjoy it, if you guys think about stuff like this too. Please let me know in the comments. I'm super, super interested. And then obviously if you guys do enjoy it, I can do them a little bit more often. Still not all the time, but maybe like twice a month or something like that. Maybe one mental health video and one just more life psychology kind of video maybe. Yeah, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I really hope that you're subscribed for more, you know, content like this, but also just other lifestyle content and some travel and car life content as well while I'm living in my car and while I'm traveling, and just hang out with me and come along on this journey with me. Yeah, I really appreciate having you guys here. So I guess that's gonna be it. Thanks again for watching, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.